Hello everyone, my name is Bunny, and as you can see, there's been a Sims update. I thought it would be the perfect time to make some townies that are not base game, but are CC free. So I've done this a few times before, mostly when after an update or when I was changing computers. And I have a few Sims on the gallery with not in-depth backgrounds, but like they have some semblance of a background. I do have a good majority of packs and kits, so unfortunately they use quite a lot. But yeah, if you're ever interested in adding some townies or some families, here they are. I created little backstories. I originally there's also some lots. The lots aren't very good. If you've seen my other videos, you understand why. But originally I just shared a few, and then I actually have some with custom content as well. I didn't even realize that she used custom content. I think because I had the EA default replacement, so that might be why. But I mostly try and share just non-CC Sims. Of course, my own Sims are full of CC. But yeah, I thought it might be fun to make a few more townies to populate my world. Ooh, I saw this in Little Simsy's video going over the updates. Wow. But yeah, I thought it would be fun to just have some Sims Sims to populate my world. World for the new fairy pack. But also, I don't know. I just like creating Sims, so if you're into that kind of content, I'm going to go ahead and stop yapping for the most part. I'm going to do a voiceover, and I said I'm going to stop yapping, and then I just said I'm going to do a voiceover. What I mean is I'm going to stop yapping live and focus on the Sim creating, and speed up the play, because the video game play, because otherwise it will take forever. So I hope you enjoy. Hello, welcome to the voiceover. So I had to re-report this, so I'm gonna try and get this done. As you can see, I randomized some of the features, but then went in and tweaked them myself. I was trying to give diverse features, and doing features of faces that I normally wouldn't do, to really just diversify my sim making, you know? Something I noticed as well is that the ear category is like the elf ears and stuff used to be only spellcasters and vampires, It's now, you can add it to your human, which is neat. The same with like the fangs. It was only for vampires. Now it's like available for humans. Um, anyway, I randomized the hair color, and you'll see me do that for the two other Sims. But then I changed the hairstyle, so mostly I was using it to like select a hair color and not a specific style. And the hair was giving me beach surfer, so I decided to lean into that and go for a sort of surfer girl, beach girl vibe. Um, so I made her someone athletic and active, and um, I swear there was an Islander aspiration, but I couldn't remember it, and I made these Sims late last night, so I ended up just going for wellness, and I chose Proud of the Island, Self Assured, and Active as personality trait. I also tried giving her a tattoo myself, like with the stencils, because again, I wanted something that represented the island and like beach girl energy and like just a love for the sea and ocean and water. So I tried with the jellyfish, and I don't know if it appears like a water pattern, but I tried to give like a water ish pattern, but I wanted it in color. So that's just my little attempt at that. So, next is just adding some more of tattoos where I could. And you'll see me go back and forth from the outfit to the face. Um, and that's because I tend to um, wait until I have like a style and a bit of personality before going back to the face to do makeup and accessories and maybe sometimes changing the hair. But yeah, since I went with active and sporty and beachy, I tried to fit that in with the fashion as well. So I, and it's so funny because again, this is without CC and mods. So it was a little frustrating because I was like, man, I just wanted like a subtle highlight on the eyes, like as eyeshadow, and I had the perfect CC for that, but I'm trying to do this without CC so that if anyone would like to use these Sims, they can just download them off the gallery. So the makeup's not perfect, but I tried my best um, with what we have. Work with what we got. Um, but yeah, I wrote little stories. Like not full on stories, but like little blurbs about each sim that I made. Um, and uh, there's probably some misspelled words. I don't, Sims doesn't have spell check until after you upload it, and then you can see what words you misspelled. Um, the same with like it's showing how many packs you used. It doesn't show you until you upload it to your gallery, like save it to your gallery to then upload. So apologies. I do have a lot of packs and a lot of kits, and I use them for for these sims. So if you guys want like specific pack made sims, I can try that as well. Um, but yeah, I went super simple with the outfits. I gave them two of each, um, 2 to 3 outfits for each category. The thing with the hair is that I wish EA would have more swatches of the similar color because I wanted to put her hair up for the formal look, but it wasn't working, and I wanted to keep the color, so I ended up going with the hat and I was also a little frustrated that the necklaces weren't showing up with the formal look. So that was like all minor pain. All of these are just minor issues, not like real issues or anything. Um, but yeah, that's that's just part of me making the sim. So um, yeah, as I said, I sort of came up with personalities, and for her, I was thinking sort of tomboyish. Beachy. I keep saying the word beachy, um, but I don't know what else how to describe it. I wanted her to be like a surfer girl, and um, not only that, I know the skills aren't necessarily transferable, but I also imagined her to be a snowboarder and like into winter sports as well, and not just water sports. Like if you think about it, um, winter sports kind of are water sports, but just frozen. I don't know if that made any sense. Um, but yeah, I tried. I imagined her to be the sporty, active, wellness into the wellness of others and like the well-being of the world and stuff. And um, I also made her a lesbian. I'm pretty sure. You can, if you decide to download any of these sims off the gallery, you can change the romantic interest in things. Um, I would I would request with like some of the like out of two of the Sims, I made them the next two Sims. I made them one of them trans and the other one non-binary. So I would love if they kept those traits, but I'm not the boss of you. You can do what you want. I'm just happy that anyone would want to use them for their story making. And also, you could like use these sims like as a base to make your own sim, and I'm perfectly happy with that. So, um, that's just my little note there, I guess. But yeah, I went for like a sporty snow boarding kind of look for her, and um, yeah, I randomized the names because of course I did, and I made sure I wish there was an activity portion that they could like swimming, but I guess because it's fitness, it doesn't have its own category. So I randomized like it randomized through game, but like just randomly selected a few other activities and stuff that she may like, and I was just yeah. So again, I might have misspelled some stuff in the blurb, but Mora. Now let's move on to the next sim. So the next sim is, as I mentioned, a trans man, and he is a Viking. uh, and again, with the face, I just wanted to really try and go for features that I might not always go to, gravitate towards, just to change things up, to just have more, I feel like there's another word besides diversity, but like show appreciation to features outside of the Eurocentric beauty standards, you know? Or not even Eurocentric beauty standards, but just the general hyper um, consumerist, like influencer beauty standards, I guess. Um, I had some trouble with this sim, I will be honest. Um, with the hair color that I randomized, I was like, okay, let's lean into the sort of alt, maybe hippie nerd sort of look. And I tend to give my Sims freckles, so in an attempt to get away from that, I gave him some facial acne as like maybe just a little thing, like acne scars. Um, I wanted to give him glasses as well, but I didn't love the ones that I had. I have some really nice CC glasses, but again, trying not to use CC for these townies so that anyone can use them without having to have the specific set of CC that I use, you know? I really like the swatch of Nicholas, but I kind of regret giving it to him. Again, I was still in the mindset of like trying to give him this alternative sort of look. But it just, I ended up going with some pretty basic outfits, honestly. Like, like the outfits are just basic guy outfits. And going through the outfits for base, well, not even base game, but for all the kits and like stuff, it's like, wow, the male, like I knew in the back of my mind that male fashion was kind of lacking, but man, it is kind of lacking. um, so, yeah, I ended up highlighting the scars, and part of his backstory is that he has embraced his more authentic self, and his traits and personality are him accepting and becoming more open with his authentic self. I feel like I said all of those words weird, but um, essentially wanted to make him a happy, geeky, sort of nerdy kind of guy. Um, he has the friend of the world aspiration because I thought I wanted him to be a very personable sim, and I feel like since transitioning, he probably has become a lot more open. So even though he's still a geek, um, he's also a party animal, and yeah, so I attempted to draw a tattoo on him as well, but I ended up just going with the stencil. And the stencil ended up a little bit crooked, honestly, so that was a little frustrating. But yeah, I, for him, went with a couple of the styled looks. Um, but sometimes you just need to have a few basic things as your townies in your game, you know? Some townies who don't have like every piece of CC or weird combination of hearing glasses. Sometimes you need your everyman. And he's kind of a bit of an everyman. I also like paused at like that outfit from Life and Death that's like the all white, because like when I saw it in game, like I've seen it in game, but when I saw it in game, I was like, it's kind of, I know it's supposed to be giving Ghost, but it's kind of giving Ku Klux Klan, and I don't love that. So, um, I know it's supposed to be giving like fettuccine Ghost, but it's giving a different kind of fettuccine, and don't love that. Um, but yeah, I went back and forth. I went with the style books, and then I would adjust them here and there. So, I did try and give him a bit of a flashy look for his formal wear, his secondary outfit, a bit of color, a bright color, like a nice, like, show out kind of look. And I also tried to give him a bit of a flashy look for his party wear and his hot weather wear, as just like, just so kind of like, you know what, get your little fit on, you know. Um, oh yeah, the other trait that I gave him was romantic. So yeah, I just thought he'd be. I wish I could. I know that there's a mod for it, but I wish that we could, for story purposes, add specific skills and like jobs from the cast, you know? I mean, technically, you sort of can if you use scenarios or if you use the Sim story builder to create a Sim. Um, and I did consider it. I did consider uh, with the third Sim of like adding another Sim and doing the story mode just so that that character has like traits and backgrounds and skills. But I decided it's better if this the like this sim is somewhat of a blank slate for you. Um, I say this as if like I sort of made these sims with the intention of sharing them specifically, but I do also plan to use them in my own game as background characters. But um, the main goal was to like use them as like slate characters for anyone to use. And then with the third and final sim, it's funny. I made all these late at night because I was really tired, but I really wanted to play The Sims. So I wanted to make more of them, but I didn't. I didn't end up doing that. So this is the third sim, and I wanted to do an occult sim. So I decided to do werewolf, and you were so lucky because I muted this portion of the video because God, why do the occult sims make all those noises? They were howling every time I zoomed out, and it's like anyway. As you saw, I randomized, but I felt like I had gotten so many of like the same like cool brown skin tones. So I wanted something different. So I randomized until I got something different. So I got one of the unusual skin tones, and that's not me calling it unusual. It's like the skin tones that are unnatural colors at the bottom. Um, and as I was making them, I was like, they kind of look more vampire-esque than werewolves. So I was like, you know what? Let's lean into it. What if I kind of like I kind of want to make a sim that's a menace. So I was like, what if they're just kind of edgy? So I made them this vampire, edgy, edgelord kind of public menace werewolf, and so I did give them like werewolf traits, like the scars from like probably their first transformation. Um, and I think I also made the sim aromantic asexual. Um, Again, you can change that if you decide to download them. Um, but I gave them a lot of black fits. And because like, and the vibe is sort of giving vampire, even though they're a werewolf. And I was just like, yeah, you know what? Let's lean into it. Something else you might notice a lot from me is I tend to give my Sims, especially them adjacent Sims, nails. Um, but I even gave my guy nails. Um, and it's funny because I I just finished school for I just finished my management program. So, I really like nails, and I love to give Sims a fresh set, if you will. But yeah, I decided to make their aspiration public enemy. I did think about making them evil, but instead I decided to make them shady because I thought that was funny. They do hate children, and they're also chased by death, because I feel like with them being a vampire. See, I made a mistake already. They're a werewolf. With them being a werewolf, um, they're probably like have had death interactions, you know? I tried going with more masculine looks. Um, there's not a whole lot of gender. Like, to be fair, clothing doesn't have a gender, but there are still some outfits that are more gender neutral and more feminine and more masculine. And in general, there's not a whole lot of gender neutral outfits, but it's also like, what is even gender neutral? And um, again, with the walking, I was like, I wanted something creepy, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it, let's lean into the vampire thing. And so I had them do the creep walk. I also have them like defection and arguments and this like affection. And yeah, so I gave them some really crazy things, and maybe they'll terrorize your sim game. Maybe they won't. I don't know. But I hope you guys like this video. Again, if you would like me to make a sim with specific packer kit, I'd be happy to. If you guys like more creative sim videos, I enjoy creating sims and creating stories. Um, but yeah, I hope you enjoy, and I hope you have a good week. And hopefully you didn't hear the wooing because I'm watching the playback as I record. Um, but yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope you have a lovely day. Bye.